Good morning, VC. I am the Zonkman, aka Heavy Metal Redneck, and yes, those are self-proclaimed. This is my first video, and normally you're supposed to introduce yourself and talk about yourself or whatever, so people kind of get to know you, that sort of thing. But this is a contest entry video. And this is a contest entry video for Chris at Tunes for the Man Cave. Tonto jump on it, and I will not attempt to mimic the way he gets into Tonto jump on it, but this is a contest video for his 500 subscribers. Congratulations, Chris. Good job. I am new to the VC, and I will probably never see 500 subscribers. In fact, I might only get one view. I'm basically forcing Chris to watch this video. So I'm going to kind of get into it. For those of you out there that are watching this that know nothing about the VC, he asked some questions, and I'm going to show some records. That's pretty much the gist of it. So I'm breaking the rules here. First video, contest entry, not even a introduction video. First question, Chris asked, a record that reminds you of your family and why, and I do have a few records for this. I'm going to start out with the wife, of course. This is Vast Video Audio Sensory Theater. This is like a 98 release, I think. I'm messing this up because this is Our Song is on this album. Of course, this wasn't released on vinyl in the 90s. This is like a 2011 issued vinyl. It is a gatefold 2 LP. And I'm supposed to be talking about Touched is the song. That's like Our Song. That's Our Song that me and my wife have. Basically doing something similar to this back in 99 2000. We're just doing like an audio broadcast on the internet, kind of like a radio show online type thing, and I played the song Touched for my wife, who wasn't my wife or my girlfriend at the time, for the very first time back then, and that has kind of became Our Song or whatever. So that's the first record there. Second one, of course, is going to be Mom. Mom has various different tastes or whatever, but she really likes James Bond movies and the Carly Simon song "Nobody Does It Better." So this soundtrack for the James Bond movie, showing that. Of course, my mom is probably who I attribute to spinning vinyl for the first time. As a kid, of course, you always, well, at least I did being my age, you destroy your parents' records basically. But she wouldn't let me spin any of her LPs, I only got the 45s, so you can destroy these 45s, but don't touch my LPs. So that's how I kind of got into music. From my mom, and of course my dad, my parents too, but my mom spinning her 45s and destroying those. Next one is going to be for my dad. Reminds me of my dad, and that is Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Troubles, Couldn't Stand the Weather. This is something back in the 80s, so it didn't have the album, had the cassette. And the cassette went in his truck, so everywhere when we were always going somewhere, we were listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, and I keep flipping this album. So, and that reminds me of my dad. My dad, he was attributed to my music, my love for music also. Always buying me cassettes and stuff as a kid. So, I got different interests in some of the stuff. He'd always bring home a cassette or something like that, some hard rock type album that was out in that 80s era. Next one I'm kind of throwing in there is maybe a family member that gets left out. And I'm going to throw my uncle in there. And my uncle also attributed to my love of music back in the 80s again, making mixed tapes. Well, he was putting some of his vinyl on cassette back then, and he gave me this mixtape, and I remember, it's all the stuff that all you guys talk about: Beatles, Stones. I Can't Get No Satisfaction, stuff like that's on there. Black Sabbath, maybe some, maybe Mountain, Mississippi Queen, Led Zeppelin, of course. That stuff. So all that stuff's on there, and then there's this odd track on there. Jamie Brockett, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Remember the Wind and the Rain, and he put a song, The Legend of the USS Titanic, on there. And so this is the album that reminds me of my uncle, and he kind of got me started really into all the great 60s and early 70s music. Next question is, record reminds you of your kids and why? My daughter has various music interests. Some stuff that she listened to as a kid, and now maybe she listens to more country now. I don't have any of that vinyl. I don't really have a vinyl record that reminds me specifically of her. I could hold up my Slipknot record and be like, yeah, I took her to a Slipknot concert when she was 15 or something like that, but I'm going to hold off on that. I am going to show what I got for Christmas this past year, because me being new to the vinyl community and new to getting into records again, probably 2018 is when I started to buy records again. She gave me this for Christmas, and it is our family record. She made it look like a record and an album, and you open it up and there's pictures of me with the grandson in there, and her. It looks like prom or something like that, and just a little note, with a gift certificate about go buy some more music for Christmas, so she knows how much I love music. So this is what I always keep displayed close to the turntable, next to whatever might be spinning at that time. But that's this right here, our family record. So I really dig that. Yeah, can't say enough about that. Next question is, what do you drink while listening to records? Yes, whoa, don't lose anything there. Monster. This is it right here. You can, keep all your water, coffee, alcoholic beverages right here, buddy. Monster. Cheers to you, Chris. Tunes from the Man Cave. Oh, as I get some on myself. It happens. I'm also going to show a little CD. I hope you don't take points away for this. But it's got Monster on it. Skillet, Awake. I didn't have the vinyl for this, but I would try to throw something up there without some glare there. Of course, Monster is on this 2009 release of Skillet. Hopefully you don't throw any points off there for throwing a CD in the mix. Okay, what I drink, let's see, we're done with that. Favorite record from favorite genre. And you listed a lot of different sub-genres of rock, but you missed mine, and I'll probably claim to stoner rock, or I like to refer to it as stoner metal. And this album is Caius, Welcome to Sky Valley. This is a 95 release. This is a reissue on probably in 2014 maybe, of their album Caius, Welcome to Sky Valley. There is a song on here that I want you to search YouTube for. It's called Space Cadet. So you need to go check out Space Cadet by Caius. Just listen to it on YouTube or whatever. But that's my one of my favorite bands, favorite genres, definitely. Caius and the stoner metal, and hopefully there'll be videos in the future that'll probably get into some more of that. Okay, next question. Any album in the collection with a great story? All right, now I'm probably going to get a little long-winded on this, but basically I'm due to the VC and all that sort of stuff, but I was looking at videos last year, and sometime in the middle of last year, I was just looking how to clean records. You know, I didn't know what you needed to do in order to clean records. So you know, I was, of course, you go to YouTube and how to do whatever on YouTube. So look for how to clean records. And you pull up this video and this some stiff guy. It's like I see it's like 45 minutes, and this guy's gonna talk about cleaning records. I'm like, wow, I don't know, you know. So I skipped that. Next one, same thing. Some guy, real stiff, prim and proper, probably some audiophile, vinyl snob or something, talk about the right way to clean records. And then I come across how to clean records cheap. So I said, okay, I clicked that. And the guy on there, he's like this long-haired, gray-haired guy, you know. He says cheers, you know, to start his video out. And he starts talking about cleaning records and using the Dollar Tree. Go to the Dollar Tree, get these things, and you can clean your records for cheap. And some of you, if anybody else watches this video, know I'm talking about Oddbox Topper. Okay, so I'm still steering way around the story here to get to this. So yeah, I watched his video on how to clean records cheap, and that's when I started maybe watching some of his other videos. Like, oh man, this guy's really cool, man. He likes the old 60s, 70s, anything psychedelic, prog rock, all that stuff. You know, that's cool. So I watched a lot of his videos, not knowing there was this whole community about people that just show records. You know, so I watched a few videos. He talks about going to a few places, and he mentions a record store in Princeton, West Virginia, and I'm like, huh. Another hobby of mine is riding four-wheelers and stuff, and to kind of segue back over to the records, we go up to West Virginia to ride Hatfield McCoy trails on a regular basis and have a vacation set up then. So I said, there's ever a day where it's raining and we're just not going to ride, and where we ride at, southern West Virginia, so it's real close to Princeton. I said, I'm going to go into town and I'm going to go to this record store. It was like on a Wednesday in August or something like that. And Topper had said his son works there, you know, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go check this out. So I just go in to check out the records. I start to look at some of the used, and there's somebody else there, and it's kind of not a whole lot of room. So I went over and looked at new vinyl. And when I come back, there was somebody different there, but they were on the side I already looked at. So I was looking at some of the other stuff. Man, sure enough, it was Topper. I was standing right there in the record store with him. Didn't plan nothing or anything. Just happened to bump into him. I'm like, you're Topper. You know, and that dude is way taller than he looks on the videos. So of course then we talk about music, blah 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 blah, and then he just I got to meet his son. His son was working that day at the record store. Very cool to meet John also. So he just requests, he's like, hey, if you don't have this, you know, I was telling him I was new and getting records. He said, if you don't have this Yes, you know, you need to get this Yes record. It's pretty cheap, you know, and all these are it's always hard to find a Yes record that's not beat up and been listened to. But this is Yes songs. It is, of course, a 3 LP, and it folds out here crazy like this, bigger than the screen, bigger than my fat head. So that's the record I'm showing. Hopefully that's a great story. That is definitely a great story for me. I got to meet Topper. You know, maybe Topper might check this video out too. Hope he does. Hope I get to meet him again. So that's that. Let's see, we'll go straight to the bonus question. And the bonus question is, share a story on vinyl where you're on the receiving or giving end of good vinyl karma. And me being new to all the vinyl stuff, RSD, I'm like, what is RSD? I don't even know what RSD is. Of course, we're talking about Record Store Day. And then it's like, you know, I wasn't even really interested in participating in that. Didn't know anything about it really was the reason behind it. So watching videos and stuff before Record Store Day this year, I said, well, let me look at the list. And you know, there might have been a couple things on there of artists I was familiar with and maybe wanted to get something, but it wasn't going to be anything to drag me there until I came across Baby Shark, Pink Fong doing a 7-inch picture disc. And I was like, oh man, gotta get this for the grandson. So I mean, I've got Mrs. Zonkman standing in the line on Record Store Day, waiting to get in, just basically to get this little record and maybe some other stuff. Of course, I got the other stuff, and the store I went to, they said they had ordered more, but they only got one copy of it, and it was long gone. So I was like, okay, whatever, it just wasn't meant to be. But I go to work, and I tell stories at work. These guys, they're like, you like records, they know I like records or whatever, and I'm telling the story about Record Store Day, standing in line. They're like, you're crazy, man. But anyway, I basically told the story how the record wasn't there I wanted to get of the Baby Shark, and then now they're all over eBay, because that's what they do, is put it on eBay right afterwards and then charge you way more than it would have cost. And I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall into their little thing there, to make money off of me. And then guy at work, Rob, maybe you'll watch this video once, maybe. Freaking brings this thing in. Wow, dude blew me away, man. He said, here you go. Here's that record you wanted for your grandson. I'm like, wow, there it is. Of course, Pink Fong, Baby Shark. Probably not shown a lot in the vinyl community. Probably not a real popular release. Of course, that song is crazy. If anybody has kids, that song is crazy all over. Everybody's playing Baby Shark. I guess it doesn't matter if it's a toddler to maybe 5 or 6 years old. I don't know. So yeah, dude at work blew me away, bringing me this 7-inch picture disc of Baby Shark. So that answers the bonus question there. I need to wrap this thing up. Congratulations to Chris, Tunes at the Man Cave, 500 subscribers. He's big into jazz. The wife has kind of got me into jazz, so I've got like a little bit of jazz records, but I'm willing to open my mind to get into some more jazz. So I do watch your channel a lot, and I even will sit there like Sunday morning and I'll force the wife to watch your channel too. So she was the one that said, you need to make a video. I was like, I'm not gonna make a video. But so here I am, making a video for Chris, Tunes at the Man Cave. My first video is for you, brother, and I call you brother like I know you, like Dylan from Noble Records or something like that, where you guys are buddies way before the VC, just in the real world. So I've seen some other videos. There's some other videos out here way better than this, but I did want to put this together, put it online, get started for Chris. And if for some reason this is like 2029 and you're on some kind of hunt for the Zonkman's first video on YouTube 10 years ago, let's just say that you have fallen down a serious YouTube rabbit hole, my friend. I don't know if there's ever any going back after this. All right, I think it's pretty much it. Tonto jump on it, still pushing. Tunes from the Man Cave, which I don't know how I can do with 0 subscribers and 0 views, but I'm doing this because it's fun. Maybe there'll be some more. Thank you, and I don't have any good sign off, so we'll work on that.